Ladies and gentlemen, Behind the Line proudly presents to you another exciting edition of the Woke! Turning on the Woke! This episode is brought to you by Shea Spray. Are you looking for the perfect fragrance this holiday season to attract Mr. Right? Perhaps you need that perfect beard cream to make your beard appear fluffy and fresh while attracting your mate. If you're wanting to spend the holidays the right way, attract your mate with the fragrance of Shea Spray. Shea Spray is top shelf perfume proven to attract your preferred gender. Shea Spray comes in a variety of flavors ranging from fierce flamingo, peachy poodle, and the preferred flavor of the grown man who calls himself Shea, seductive stallion. Don't be caught under the mistletoe smelling masculine like Ray. Attract your preferred gender with the seductive powers of Shea Spray. Use promo code PURSE to receive 69% off your first purchase of Shea Spray. Imagine my surprise. Just imagine my surprise when I find out that Shannon Sharpe, hey, it's me, Shay. When I find out that the grown man who calls himself Shay had an emotional meltdown on ESPN again. And this time, he was going after a member of his own team. Earlier this morning, Shannon Sharpe had an emotional outburst, verbally attacking one of his colleagues at the worldwide leader in woke, ESPN. Now, this is a colleague that used to preach the good word and spread the woke faith when it came to preaching about the dangers of mythical racism. You guys remember that segment on College Game Day 4 years ago when Kirk Herbstreit broke down in tears crying about the racism that college athletes were dealing with that no one could ever find or explain? I'm sure some of you guys have forgotten about it. I mean, there are so many dudes crying on the air at ESPN, it's kind of hard to remember. Hell, Shannon Sharpe, he was damn near in tears this morning. It's the holiday season. It's the time of year when everyone is supposed to be happy. And here we are, 2 days before Christmas, and Shay is spreading his bitterness. Last week on First Take, the Boodle Brigade, they were talking about Ohio State head coach Ryan Day. Shay and A, they were claiming that Ryan Day should be fired because he keeps losing to Michigan, which is fine. I mean, that is a fair assessment, fair criticism. For some weird reason in college football, if a head coach fails to beat the team's biggest rival, fans and the media, they want the head coach to be fired. Doesn't matter if they make the conference championship game, doesn't matter if they make the playoffs. If the head coach at Woke U consistently fails to beat the head coach at LGBT Tech, the media wants him to be fired. But during the broadcast of Tennessee-Ohio State on Saturday night, Kirk Herbstreit, he addressed the criticisms of Ryan Day from Shay and A. Now, Kirk Herbstreit was very professional. He was very matter-of-fact. More importantly, he was not emotional. He simply addressed Shannon and Stevie's criticisms of Ryan Day, and they just moved on with the broadcast. But this morning on First Take, the bromance was given the chance to respond to Kirk Herbstreit, and Shannon Sharpe once again humiliated himself on national television. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Let's get to the sponsor for today's video, my good friends at Zone Grip. If you're anything like me when you're playing golf, one of the biggest frustrations is the slice when you are driving the ball off the tee. Whether it's an immediate slice or a descending slice, it's incredibly frustrating because it destroys your chance for par. It ruins the rest of your game. Luckily, I have found the perfect solution to eliminate the slicing from your golf game: Zone Grip. Zone Grip is the ultimate training tool that will help you refine the weaknesses in your golf game. Whether it's your driver, your irons, your wedges, Zone Grip, it is the perfect tool to teach you the fundamentals. Zone Grip is designed to help you achieve the perfect grip and the perfect angles for each swing. It's also designed to help you with your backswing by assisting you with muscle memory and technique required for an effective swing. Zone Grip was featured in the 2024 PGA Inventor major spotlight, and they've also been endorsed by LPGA legend Nancy Taylor. This would be the perfect Christmas gift for the golfer in your family who is struggling with their swing. Unfortunately, already too late to get it by Christmas, but go ahead and get it for them for the new year by placing your order now. Click the link in the description below. Use my promo code BTL20. Start swinging like a pro and save 20% off your first purchase with Zone Grip. Saturday night, with Ohio State comfortably beating the hell out of the shirtless players from Tennessee. Did you guys see that during pregame warm-ups? I guess some of the players from Tennessee thought it would be intimidating to go through pregame warm-ups with their shirts off in 20-degree weather. I guess they thought that would scare their opponent, maybe shrink their desire to win. Problem is, the only thing it ended up shrinking was the size of their lemons, because as soon as the game started, Ohio State, they put boot to ass and they booked Tennessee a holiday cruise on the Bruise Caboose. But late in the game, Ohio State, they're leading comfortably. Kirk Herbstreit, he decided to address the comments made last week by Shannon Sharpe. Like I said, they were pushing for Ryan Day to be fired because he can't beat Michigan. Now, for those that don't know, Kirk Herbstreit used to be the starting quarterback at Ohio State, well connected to the program, and apparently he is a big supporter of Ryan Day. He came to the defense of Ryan Day against the savage verbal attacks from Stephen A. Smith and the purse-swinging Shea. I'm going to black out the visual here for copyright reasons, but the audio is really the only thing you need to hear anyway. Listen to it for yourself.
God forbid they lose to Oregon. They may want to fire him again.
But that's not reality. I mean,
No.
That's the thing. When you hear pundits on this network and other places talk about that with certainty, it's nonsense, frankly.
First Take tried to fire him. They thought he was done. So I'll be excited to see what they talk about on Monday after this performance. They had him out. They're trying to find replacements.
No big deal, right? If anything, Shay and A should appreciate the free promotion. The ratings haven't been released yet, but I would assume 7, 8, maybe 10 million people were watching that game Saturday night on ABC. You would have to combine 2-3 weeks of First Take to reach the same number. Kirk Herbstreit was doing them a favor. He was giving Shay and A free promotion in front of a mainstream audience. Unfortunately, they didn't exactly see it the same way. Well, at least Shannon Sharpe didn't. Stephen A. Smith, he took this for what it was. The blonde who was hosting First Take this morning, which, by the way, whoever the hell she was, she is significantly better at this job than Molly Karam. The lady hosting the show this morning, she did exactly what a host is supposed to do. She asked the questions, and she let the stars provide the answers. Unlike Molly Karam, who answers her own questions thinking that anyone gives a baker's fuck what she thinks. But anyway, the lady hosting First Take this morning, she gave Stephen A. Smith the first opportunity to respond to Kirk Herbstreit. Stephen A., like I said, took this for what it was. He answered by joking around with Kirk Herbstreit, but at the same time, he reiterated his point as to why Ryan Day should be fired. To be honest with you, Stephen A. took Kirk Herbstreit's minor criticism like a man. Unsurprisingly, I cannot say the same for Shay. Clearly, Shannon Sharpe was not in the mood to be criticized this morning. I don't know if he woke up in a bad mood. Maybe ESPN ran out of Midol. I don't know. What I do know is Shannon Sharpe, he completely embarrassed himself by once again being overly emotional. Watch for yourself.
I'm going to let it slide. I'm going to be a good teammate. I'm going to let it slide. Everybody's at ESPN. Because had you not taken the route you taken, I would have lit their ass up. But I'm going to let it slide. You know what, guys? Congratulations, Ohio State. You won the game. But, hey, if we're going to be on the same team, if we're going to work for the same network, don't do that. Kurt, Chris Fowler, I promise you, if you ever mention anything, any platform that I'm on again and talking about, I wonder what they're going to say in negativity, I promise you, ESPN ain't got enough bosses to keep me off y'all for what I'm going to say. So I'm going to let y'all slide today. I'm going to turn it over to D.O. before I get myself in trouble. But don't play with me.
First of all, who in the hell is he threatening? Who in the hell is afraid of the wrath of a senior citizen who demands to be called Shay Shay? Also, why do we constantly see these emotional outbursts from Shannon Sharpe? Remember last year when he damn near got kicked out of a Lakers game for arguing with the players? Or maybe he was arguing with the family of one of the players? Either way, it was an embarrassment. Now, to his credit, Shannon Sharpe did take full responsibility for his actions and he apologized. I'm not bringing this back up to rehash it. I'm bringing it up because this seems to be a pattern of behavior with Shay Shay. Obviously, what happened on First Take this morning, that's not the same thing, but it's the same emotional response. I don't understand why he gets so emotional over nothing. I mean, seriously. Kirk Herbstreit didn't say anything wrong. He simply highlighted their criticism. He defended his head coach in a respectful manner. He didn't take personal shots. He didn't attempt to destroy their credibility. He simply referenced what they said, disagreed with them, and moved on. For some reason, Shannon Sharpe was offended by that. So let me make sure I'm understanding this correctly. Shannon Sharpe is allowed to go on First Take, and he's allowed to criticize Ryan Day. He's allowed to call for Ryan Day to be fired. But when Kirk Herbstreit responds to that criticism, that is no bueno. If I'm understanding Shay correctly, Shay is allowed to criticize you. Shay is allowed to criticize anyone he wants, but you're not allowed to criticize him. This is one of the reasons that I find it so difficult to take Shannon Sharpe seriously. He used to do this same thing with Skip Bayless. Hell, the reason he filed for divorce is because Skippy hurt his feelings. Say what you want about Stephen A. Smith, but one thing that you can never take away from Stephen A., he is not afraid to take the heat. He's not afraid to be criticized. He's not afraid to be called out. Matter of fact, I think he kind of likes it. Outside of Jason Whitlock, Stephen A. Smith, he doesn't care if anyone calls him out. Within reason, of course. But Shannon Sharpe, he can't take it. Shannon Sharpe can't take the heat. He takes it personally. He takes it as a sign of disrespect, which tells me Shannon Sharpe is insecure. Give me your thoughts on this. Shannon Sharpe embarrasses himself on First Take. He responds to Kirk Herbstreit by, well, to me it sounded like a threat. I didn't understand what the big deal was. I didn't think Kirk Herbstreit said anything wrong. What about you? Let me know. Sound off in the comments below. Best way to contact me is through email, btlkc84@gmail.com. See you guys tomorrow.